5 cases too dark for Netflix. These cases were deemed too disturbing to ever make a documentary. Until now, what you're about to hear isn't just crime. It's something darker. Something that stayed with the investigators. Forever. Case 1. The smiling intruders still remember the photo. A grainy image taken from a family's own camera. At first glance, everything looked normal. The living room was quiet, untouched, but then you notice him, standing in the corner, smiling. The family was asleep upstairs, a mother, a father, and their 2 children, completely unaware that someone had been inside their home. For days, police later found small signs, food slightly moved. A chair not in its place, nothing obvious. Just enough to feel wrong. The intruder had been entering at night, watching them, learning their routine. He never stole anything, never tried to harm them, which somehow made it worse when they finally caught him hiding in the attic. He didn't resist. He just smiled again and said quietly, "I felt like I belonged here." Even the officers admitted later. That moment didn't feel like an arrest. It felt like something far more disturbing. Case 2. The silent calls. It started with one call. Late at night. Unknown number. She answered. But no one spoke. Just silence. At first, she ignored it. Wrong number. Maybe a glitch. But the calls kept coming every night. Same time. And then, things changed. One night after a long silence, a whisper came through, soft, almost unnoticeable. It described her room, her clothes, even the position she was sitting in. She froze. Someone wasn't just calling her. Someone was watching her. Panic set in. She called the police. They traced the number, expecting it to lead somewhere outside, but the result made no sense. The calls were coming from inside her own house. Every room was searched, every corner checked. Nothing. No one was found. But the calls stopped, as if whoever it was no longer needed to call. Case 3. The suitcase mystery. It was discovered by accident. A worker cleaning the roadside noticed an old suitcase, half hidden in tall grass. It looked abandoned, forgotten. But something about it felt deliberate. When authorities opened it, they expected clothes, maybe trash. Instead, they found a collection of items, photographs, letters, small personal objects, carefully arranged, not random, organized. Each item told part of a story, a timeline of someone's life, someone who had disappeared years ago. The details matched a cold case, one that had long been forgotten. But this was like someone had reopened it. Sent a message. Investigators tried to trace the suitcase. Fingerprints. DNA. Any clue. Nothing led anywhere. It was as if the person who placed it there wanted to be seen, but never found. Case 4. The locked room call came in early morning. A neighbor reported something strange, a door that hadn't opened in days. When police arrived, everything seemed normal. No broken windows, no forced entry. The door was locked from the inside. They broke it open and stepped into silence. The room was empty, but not abandoned. Everything was in place, furniture untouched, personal items exactly where they should be, except for one thing. The person who lived there was gone. No signs of struggle, no indication they had left. And then they saw it on the wall, written clearly. I didn't leave. Investigators searched for explanations, hidden exits, secret passages. Anything, but nothing made sense. Eventually, the case went cold, because sometimes there are no answers. Case 5, the confession that changed everything. Walked into the station like it was any normal day. Composed. I need to confess, he said. Officers expected a small crime, something simple, but what followed was anything but normal. He began describing events, detailed, Precise locations, dates, moments, things that sounded like real cases. But there was one problem. None of them existed. No reports, no records. Nothing. At first, police assumed he was lying or imagining things. But then, they started checking, digging deeper into the places he mentioned, and slowly, pieces started to appear. Unreported incidents, unnoticed patterns, things that matched his words perfectly. The more they investigated, the more disturbing it became. Because if he was telling the truth, then these weren't just confessions. They were crimes that no one had even known happened. Thank you for watching some. Stories are too dark for TV, too disturbing for documentaries, but they're real. Or at least, real enough to leave questions behind. And sometimes, the scariest part isn't what we know, it's what we don't.